15 News. This is breaking news.
Thanks for joining us at 9. We start with breaking news this evening. 2 people are dead after a small plane crash earlier today in the town of Sylvester on the north side of State Highway 59, which is near the Monroe Municipal Airport. The Greene County Sheriff's Office says the crash happened just before 5:30 this evening. When a deputy got to the crash site, they noted there was a large fire, construction equipment on fire, and a large debris field from that aircraft. The names of the 2 people killed have not been released. The NTSB and FAA will take over the investigation now. We will hear from the Greene County Sheriff tonight on WMTV 15 News at 10.